it's Miss A, got a lot to say on all the things we go through within the day. Politics, dating, recipes, traveling, and yep, of course, I'm the karaoke queen. I take no L's, I'm always booking flights. This is my lovely lunatic Leo life. Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room? This is my lovely lunatic Leo life. Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room? The one and only S.A. Meet Carressa. She's a financial advisor. So in this episode, we speak financial literacy, we talk about credit, we talk about LLCs, and she really gave some good insight. And she also has a book out. So make sure you stay tuned for some financial information. Yes, I finally did it, y'all. I didn't repeat the song like I normally do. I'm about to be a pro, but I'm still looking for an intern. So if y'all know anyone looking for an internship, please, I need help. Anyway, welcome to my lovely lunatic Leo life, and I have a special guest, and we're gonna do something completely different. It's none of Miss A's fuckery and my wild shit, okay? This is how we're gonna be financially responsible and financially literate, because I'm gonna tell you, girl, I am financially illiterate. Like, I'm not even gonna tell you in public how illiterate I am, okay? I might tell me by accident, but y'all, welcome my guest, Carressa Walker. Oh, shall we say your last name? I'll put your whole government.
I hope nobody looking for me.
Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it. Now, me and her have known each other through social media for like a year and a half. So this is our first time meeting. Yes. So excuse me if I'm a little goofy. You know, her man's the one who did my intro that y'all love so much and y'all keep singing over and over. I want to make that a ringtone because I should, because people put it as my ringtone now. I need y'all to, I need to make some money off that shit.
Hello. Yes.
So last 2 weeks ago, I had one of my good friends here that grew up. She's a boss bitch. Now I got another boss bitch.
Yes,
and this is what I'm excited. I want people to know, like, the people you keep in your circle, the more they doing for themselves, the more they're going to do for the collective. You know what I'm saying? So I like to keep people in my circle. I want them to be about shit, not about nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm so happy you're here. Thank you again and welcome. Yes. So basically, let me get this started right, because I've been told I want to have more of a conversation instead of asking you questions, right?
Absolutely.
But with this, because I'm financially illiterate, I was like, I had to know the certain way to say things and I need the words. But first of all, how did you get into finance?
So it's a long story, actually. So
we got time.
I actually was homeless at the time. And I was working part-time at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I couldn't really find a full-time job. I was like applying to all these places, and financially I was just a mess. Like the only thing I had to my name was my car and my cell phone. Like that was it. In the car I was like hanging on, but I needed it to get around. So I was staying with a friend, and I was like, you know what, one day I got up and I was like, you know what, I gotta get myself together. So I started researching different people that repaired credit, trying to get referrals, and I was referred to this guy who lives in Atlanta, but he's from New Jersey. And I trusted the person who referred me. She was like, listen, he's good. Like, he's gonna make sure you have everything you need to get your stuff together. So I reached out to him, and he was like straight to the point. He didn't mess around, and I was like, you know what? I was like, let me ask him if he'll show me how to do it.
Right.
So I'm like, what's the worst he can say? No.
Right.
Like,
exactly. I'm so glad you say that. That's one of my big sayings.
Yeah,
what's the worst someone could say?
Exactly.
No. You're gonna survive. Go ahead.
Right. So I was like, I hope you don't take offense to this. I said, you've been helping me, because he was helping me for about 6 months at the time.
Okay.
I said, I really want to learn how to repair credit. Like, I want to help people, I said, I'm not trying to step on your toes or anything like that. But just seeing how you're changing my life, like, I want to help people, especially coming from that position I was in of not literally having nowhere to live,
Right.
So surprisingly, he was like, yeah, I'll show you. And he was like, I'll show you. He charged me, I think it was like $2,000. I was like, listen.
Damn.
At the time, I was working so much, like, that was like the last $2,000. That was all I had.
You invested.
I had maybe a couple $100 over that, but that was literally all I had. And I said, you know what? If this doesn't work, then I'm gonna be fucked. But I gotta do what I have to do.
You invested in it too.
Exactly.
You trusted him.
So I paid him, and he showed me the ropes, and I started doing friends and family for free. I started, like, my closest friend that I actually was living with, I helped her for free. And they started just, like, telling people, like, when it started to work, people just would come to me like, hey, I heard you repair credit, you know, and it kind of just, it literally just like built from there, you know.
It started from the ground up. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. So did you ever go to school for it, or do you have to go to school for it?
You don't have to go to school for it, but you do have to be bonded in some states. So the state of New Jersey, you don't have to be bonded. Some states, you do have to be bonded, and it can be very costly. But the state of New Jersey, luckily, you don't have to be bonded, and you don't need a degree for it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Excuse me. So when you were working at Buffalo Wild Wings, did you ever imagine that it would, like, something like this would change your life? Like, how did you expect to find your way to be financially stable?
Honestly, I really didn't know how, but I knew I was going to be. Like, my end goal was I wanted to invest in real estate. But I'm like, girl, you don't even girl, you sleep on somebody's couch talking about you want to buy a house. Okay. And I would even, like, go look at houses, like, literally set up appointments, knowing I didn't have any money. But it was just, it, like, kept me motivated. And it kept me, you know, within arm's reach to say, hey, okay, I can do this. Right. You know, because honestly, without that, I don't know, I could have, you know, fell on to just giving up. But I didn't think that I would be doing credit repair. You know, I don't know what I would be doing, but I knew for sure that I didn't want to work for anybody else. I wanted to help people, and I wanted to be wealthy and leave money for my children and grandchildren.
Girl, you know what's so crazy? Like, I'm in that situation you were in years ago. You know, I'm working at a job that's just getting me by. Like, I really don't do much. I hope they're not really listening, but I don't really do much. But it's like, I know that's not my end goal. I said this would be the last job I'm working for somebody else. I'm into entertainment and podcasting, so I'm going harder in my love of what I love to do. Awesome. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but my mindset is there already. Like, in my mind, I'm making the money that I want. Right. So I'm so glad that you said that, because you're giving me hope, girl. Like, so everything I'm thinking in my mind is not fucking crazy. No, like, I'm done with this.
And usually when you think it's crazy, it's usually the thing
that's the best idea.
I'm telling you.
Yes. Yes, that's so true. I mean, I really am trying to get myself to a place where I need to be, and I'm not gonna lie, my credit is terrible. Like,
well, we may need to talk.
Yeah, we do need to. Yes, we need to talk, because I never was too serious about my credit. I was just like, you know, to me, I've been single for so long, and I was like, I never wanted to have a house. I grew up in a house. My father has a house now, so it's not like I was always in places where I don't know what it's like to have a house. It's like I've grown up kind of privileged, but I was like, it seems like too much work, and I'm single. I don't want a house. But then as I'm getting older, I'm about to be 40 next month, and I'm thinking, like, you know what, it's harder for me to get a car. It's hard for me to do things and make it easy. I want to travel and build my credit, like I see people doing for free and shit. So it's like, okay, now I got to be a grown up and step my shit up. Even though, isn't America the only country that does credit reports and stuff?
So yeah.
Yeah, of course. Pretty much.
Are we the only country that do a lot of things?
Yeah,
you know,
that's true too.
I mean, and it's one of those things, because a lot of people say it's made up, you know, to keep people in, you know, certain parts of where the government wants them to be. And, you know, honestly, even if it is, do you want to be in that box they're trying to put us in? Right. You know, sometimes if you can't beat them, you join them, you know? And then you do what you need to do to take over. Yeah. That's it.
Ooh, I love your mindset, girl. I love your mindset. Now, would you... Okay, another problem of mine is I always feel like I need a large sum of money in order to save. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. I do smoke. I do drink. So, and money goes quickly to stuff like that. Right. But I'm not a big spender as far as materials things. Like, I don't need designer shit. I love to shop and I love to travel. So the fact that I don't buy designer shit and I don't have a car affords me the travels that I get to travel. Right. You know, but I want to travel. Like, I've seen people have credit cards that help them go to travel, like getting points and stuff. And that's, it's sad to say, that's why I want to build my credit up, so I can do shit like that.
It's a good thing, though. Yeah. It'll benefit what you're trying to do.
So how can I go about with somebody whose credit is, they'll probably give me like a $500
credit limit?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to start from somewhere. So what we, of course, we would have to do is look at your credit. But let's just say, you get approved for a $500 credit limit. I always say for people, the thing you want to do as soon as you get that card, use it, but you want to pay it off immediately.
Pay it back.
If you don't have the liquid cash to pay it, don't use it.
Okay.
Because that is what drives people into debt. Because a lot of people look at it like, if I have a credit card, I can spend this money even if I don't have it available to me. And that's not the purpose of it. Ironically, you do have to have money to have credit. They work hand in hand.
Right.
So the faster you utilize and pay it on time, keep your balances low, the faster you build it up. And I mean, it may start off at 500, but who knows? In a year or two, you may be at 10,000 or 20,000.
Girl, don't tell me what a good time.
Especially if you're traveling,
Yeah.
You can get a lot of benefits out of, miles and all of that. So.
Because I started out in college, and most colleges, they got people that go around giving you free credit cards, and that's where you rack up your debt. So I remember I went to Bahamas with my credit card. I was going to the ATM in Bahamas. I was wilding, and that's where my shit is really pent up from. But this is from this is over 10, maybe even 15 years ago.
And it's still affecting you?
It's still affecting me.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, I've added little dumb shit, dumb shit. T-Mobile, store credit cards.
Stuff you'd be like, why did I do that?
Right.
Oh, no.
So it's I really need to get my shit together, because just now I'm realizing credit is a big deal. Even though my father's always instilled, my father's always been about credit. He's always told me, I'm just hard headed. I've been to entrepreneur conferences with him. He used to work at Black Enterprise for years. So we used to go with him to all these conferences where you would think I would know better.
One and not the other.
Yeah.
That happens to, think about it, with all of us. Like, my parents were the same, both financially responsible. But I always look at it like this. If I go and I have a 2-year-old, and I go and I tell her, hey, you're not supposed to touch that. But I don't really tell her why and explain it. She's going to go and do it out of curiosity.
Right.
So if you're telling me, hey, don't ruin your credit, but you're not really giving me reasons and examples on why, 9 out of 10, I ain't listen either. The very first card I got was $5,000 when I was in college, and that was eons ago, but I maxed it out right away. And both my parents were like, well, we told you not to mess your credit up, but nobody really explained why.
Right.
So I think understanding helps a lot, and that's why that word illiterate that you use is a very strong word, because a lot of people are illiterate when it comes to credit,
And it's not even just illiterate. It's I didn't give a fuck about it. I don't care. I don't need it. That's how I was.
Right. Absolutely.
But you will need it eventually. So you got to get out of that mindset of you don't need it, because you're living in America, you need it. I always thought I would move out of the country, which eventually I do plan to do. But at the moment while I'm still here, I need it. And it's crazy because I started dating this guy, right? So he was he was different from the guys I've dated, and he had money, he had a career, he had a business. So my friends were like, girl, you got to get your credit right, because so because I'm dating this man, my friends are like, you need to get your credit right, because he might dump you. I'm like, because of my fucking credit? But I see that people really will dead you because your shit's not together.
It's like a lifestyle, Oof. Yeah.
Well, I need to come on and get it together.
That's why we gonna get you right.
Yes, please. Right. Now, I had one of my friends, they did the PPE thing from last year.
Paycheck protection.
Okay. So they may or may not have done it the right way, or whatever, but now they want to take their business forward. Okay. Do they need to transfer it to a LLC, or can they keep it? I think they're a sole proprietor because they did it that way. Okay. What's the difference between sole proprietor and a LLC, number one? Number two, do you need to have both of them to get your business off the ground?
So those are two different types of businesses.
Oh. Yeah.
So sole proprietor is, a lot of times people do run their business as a sole proprietor because they're very small. Oh, okay. So you can actually, the main difference is that you're utilizing your personal social security number versus an employee identification number. Okay. So LLC has an EIN versus a sole proprietor, you're using your social.
I think they have an EIN then, so maybe it's not a sole.
Do they have a DBA? If they have an EIN, then they have a doing business as, which is like a business nickname.
Okay.
So granted, it could be whatever the person's name is, and then their DBA would be like, I do hair.
Okay.
As an example, they can apply for an EIN and utilize that EIN and then attach their name and the DBA to it. And a lot of times people do that to open up bank accounts or business bank accounts, rather. But you'll still see their name attached to it versus an LLC, you won't see the person's name attached to it. Like if I was to go open up a business bank account, it's totally attached to that. Also, with sole proprietors, things that you open up or handle as a sole proprietor are still liable for, if someone comes to sue you, or if someone, you owe child support or something like that. Versus an LLC, those assets are protected.
Oh, wow.
So there are some benefits to transferring it over into an LLC versus doing sole proprietor. Sole proprietor is good, like I said, mainly when you're starting out and you're not really doing much,
Got you. Look at me, see? I don't even know. First, I meant to start off with the book, The Blueprint. This is her book, y'all. Make sure you check it out. Where can they buy this book?
Amazon, Target, BookBaby. Those are some of the major platforms that it's available on. Yes, please make sure. A lot of gems in there.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of gems. How was it writing a book? Like, what is that experience like?
Very stressful. It took me, I'm going to say, about 7 months, and most of it was editing.
I believe
going back. Changing, punctuation and all of that. So it was very stressful. I'm going to take a little time before I go to write another one. I might even, get help with it. I think a team would be better because it was just me, literally. Like, my fiancé would come in the house and I'm like literally at the computer from the time he left to the time he came back, working on changes that I needed to make. But once it was done, it was very rewarding, and I was just so glad to be able to share with people things that I've learned along the way, because I'm still learning too.
Yeah.
But, I was very happy to be able to share that.
Well, we learn every single day. So the more you learn, I'm sure the more you're going to share.
Yes.
And I know you and your man, I be following y'all on Instagram, and you guys always talk about generational wealth.
Yes.
So some people are born into it, but how can you let people know how they can actually start that generational wealth for their generation to come? Like, how does that, what do you suggest?
So, I always say, if you're trying to leave things behind for children, grandchildren, opening up different accounts, like, IRAs, you have, your 457s, you have your college funds. And not to say, because I'm not one of those people that are like, my kid better go to college and things like that. It all depends on what you want to do.
Right.
But what really leads to generational wealth are, those accounts like that, especially if you're starting off small, and investing, because that's a part of investing. You have to invest, whether it be, something small, it doesn't matter what it is, invest in something.
Right.
Because that is going to remain as long as you stay consistent. You keep investing, you of course gain as much knowledge as you can as far as where to invest. That is what remains, in the end, and that's what builds generational wealth.
Would you include like opening up a credit card in your child's name, and actually paying, not doing it for self-fuckery, but actually doing it to build their credit? Would you consider that part of getting to the generational wealth?
Absolutely. And I wouldn't say opening a credit card in their name, but adding them as an authorized user, yes.
Oh, okay.
So, for instance, my 2-year-old, I have her we both have her as an authorized user on some of our credit cards. Now, some of the credit cards do have age limits. Okay. So you have to find out which ones do, which ones don't. And some of them you can add your child from birth.
Damn,
Okay. Absolutely. But it definitely gives them a little head start. But in doing this, I always say, again, educate. You want them to understand why you're doing what you're doing. You don't want them to come out of the gate with an 800 credit score and then they go and they open up their own and run it all up. You want to educate them on why you're doing that, and that's so they can carry on what you're building.
Okay, basically, so you and your man both were in a financial struggle.
Literally, we both were homeless at the same time. So everyone knows. times, yeah.
Wow. And then you guys are buying big body Benzes. Y'all are flipping houses. Like, we want to know what you doing. Do I need to, like, when can y'all hook me up with a man like that so I can start to be like y'all?
Listen, you gotta listen. We are here. You want to link? I keep telling you all the time. I'm out and about. Listen, we can set it up. And honestly, I'm so one of those people, and he is the same way. We love to share information.
Yes, y'all do.
So the real estate thing is, we kind of do it non-traditional, you know. I mean, again, New Jersey, well, not again, I didn't say this before. Maybe it's the tequila. But,
I gotta get them lit when it comes to the show.
But when it comes to real estate, think outside of the box. You know, Jersey is very expensive. So just think about it. As a first-time investor, especially if you're not trying to live in the house, do you really want to start with a house that costs $600,000? Can you really do that? You know, I mean, the average person is not going to have that kind of money coming out of me. Right. Listen, the U.S. is big. It's big, you know. So, and not just the U.S. There are other countries where you can purchase real estate. Like I have a friend of mine who actually purchased a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in Puerto Rico, right on the water. Literally, I think it was 130. Really? 130. Damn. And gonna rent it out because she lives here. She works here.
But it's 130 plus like fixing it up, or was already nicely, like she didn't have to do much?
She had to do a little bit. It was more cosmetic than anything. Okay. She didn't have to cut though. It was just like painting. It had a balcony already. It was very, very nice, and I should have actually had her send me the pictures, but she started off with that as her husband, that was their first investment. They're going to rent it out while they're here, and then when they vacation, you know, they go there.
They got their own spot.
Yeah, but think outside of the box. Don't just stay in your area. Right. You know, you have, you know, places like Pennsylvania. You have places like Ohio. You have places like Idaho.
Right.
People do
so
live
much
there.
cheaper.
I mean, it's not like just all land.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just, you have to really be ready to step out of your comfort zone.
My father and my stepmom, their house in Franklin Park, which is in Central Jersey, they make the downstairs is Airbnb. They air it out. And so he told me it's like an extra $30,000 a year just for them to rent it out. And they're always booked. Always booked. You can do something as simple as that. They owned houses they flipped houses in Philadelphia. Awesome. But they would start to be, there's some horror stories with their tenants. So it's not that easy. It's not for the faint-hearted.
It's not going to always be rainbows in the skies, I'll tell you that.
They had like 3 row houses, I think. And it was just, you know, it was a lot. So I think they sold one. So I think they only have one now. Okay. But now they're also building a house in Ghana. Okay. Now building a house in Ghana, usually you buy land and then you build whatever. Because once you buy land in Ghana, you don't have to worry about mortgage or none of that. Exactly. You might do taxes here and there, but mortgage is done.
It's done, right?
Yeah, so, but also buying houses in Ghana, you got to be careful because certain people will try to cheat you. Yeah. His own great uncle cheated him, you know, so they've been trying to buy land in Ghana for over like 20 years and they just kept running into roadblocks. Finally now, everything's getting built. They're working on it. So hopefully by December, that's a place I can go to anytime I want to.
You can be very, let me tell you something. You can be very creative when it comes to real estate, especially. You know, the Airbnb, that's a great way to make extra income. Yeah. You know, and a lot of people are like, I don't know about renting to people, but there are processes in place to protect you as as someone who wants to rent out. You know, just like there's processes in place to protect the person who's renting. So you just, like I said, you just have to be able to step out and say, listen, this may go all the way wrong, but I'm willing to try it because we've gone through, I mean, right now we have 2 real estate deals that are a disaster. I mean, literally a disaster. One of them has been in the process of closing for, I want to say 4 months. Damn. But it was like, this person died, and then this person got COVID, and then they need a CO now for this after we've gotten the money from the bank. So you have to be ready for the BS because it does come, but the reward is amazing once it happens. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a way or a trick to let people know when is the right time or who's the right person to work with? Like, how would you know? Is it taking a risk all the time?
I would start with people that you know and trust. Get referred from there. You know, don't be afraid to ask people that you know. Even if it's somebody you work with, but you have some kind of relationship where like you can trust them. Right. Hey, do you know somebody that, a real estate agent, or do you know, a mortgage broker,
Right.
or do you know a title agent? Because a lot of those people do own houses, and in that instance, they'll refer someone to you, and that's how you start. That's how you build your network. From there, you take it from there, and then of course some of those are going to be just you jumping out the window and then there's something's at the bottom to save you. But
Yes. Do you guys plan on buying property overseas eventually?
yeah,
Have you thought about
we
it?
haven't talked about it, but absolutely. And if he is like I think he is, because we are pretty much like the same person. Yeah, absolutely want to. There's so many beautiful places in the world, and so many places that. I mean, literally, the dollar is not controlling the environment like it does here.
Yeah.
That's
good. That's amazing to know. I'm putting you out here, the blueprint. Make sure y'all go cop the book.
Yes,
it's a quick read, but it's powerful. There's a lot of gems in here. You know what I'm saying? And also your Instagram.
Yes.
Is back.
I'm back.
Guess who's back?
I was like, oh my God, I was sitting, I'm like, now what I'm going to do? But my Instagram at Carressa _, so it's at CARRESSA _. Tap in with me. Like, I give out information. I love to help people. So yeah, just tap into me, and I'm always dropping jewels. I'm doing my reels now because
reels
Gino
is where
told me
it's
about
at.
that because I'm like an old lady. Do reels. Nobody does the regular videos.
Yeah, I've learned that too. I recently learned that too, girl.
I feel so out of touch with certain things. I'm like, I feel so caught up in like doing.
You got a lot. You're a mom. You're a fiance. Come on now.
World. What world?
So how do you juggle all of that with being a mom and a fiance?
A nanny.
That's
nanny
good.
Has saved my life. She is amazing. She saved our lives. If you, I was about to say, if it's not, you really have to have a schedule. You have to have a structure. And if you have a partner, you two really have to work together.
And communicate.
And understand. Because if you don't, that ship will sink. I'm telling you. But I will say this, because a lot of people they kind of shy away from, a nanny and things like that because they think it's so expensive. They think it's for like, oh, they must be rich.
Right.
But when you really think about the time that you save and are able to invest in your other ventures, it really is not that bad. It pans out. Mm-hmm. So, don't shy away from anything. It's not millions of dollars, and there's a lot of young people that are excellent with kids, have education, want to help. Listen, she saved our life. And it takes a village. I really believe that. So I do not shy away from it. Our families live down south, so in North Carolina, so it's just really us.
Right.
So yeah,
that's
she
good.
saved our life.
Oh, that's good that she's helping y'all out like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, not everyone, because my friends are telling me, I don't have any kids, y'all already know, but they're telling me like daycare is like $500, $600 a month, and like it's expensive.
And that's for some people I've been hearing, literally they pay that a week.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I didn't want to.
And if you have more than one, it's like
expensive.
Ridiculous, So I'm like, wait a minute, and then you want to make sure your kid is well taken care of, that they're getting the tools that they need and stuff. So it is very expensive, and either way, you have to spend something. If you have a kid and you work or you run businesses, you need some kind of help. But,
so what other businesses do you have?
I have a teeth whitening office. It's called Lightning Smile. That is in Montclair on Valley Road, and we've had that place for about a year and a half. We're on Groupon, so check us out. Ooh. Our results are amazing. Instagram, it's at Lightning Smile LLC. So we have that. We have the real estate. We have the credit repair. I do consulting, so I consult with a lot of small business owners and a lot of individuals on, finances, how to get their business up and running, tools on grants, loans, all the good, everything.
Because I'm working on a website right now.
Okay.
And my girl who's doing my website for me, she's giving me ideas on like sponsors and ads and stuff like that. Well, I'm trying to make My Lovely Lunatic Leo Life a brand now.
Okay.
So if I wanted to making a brand into a business, is that something that's easy to do? Or is it possible?
So honestly, there's many pockets to starting or building a brand and running a business, that would be something we would have to actually sit down and discuss exactly what you wanted to do. There's no quick answer for that.
Okay.
Especially if you want it done properly.
Right.
And you're trying to like go all the way with building your brand. You want to get trademarked and everything. That's something that we actually would have to sit down and set up a consultation so that we can discuss exactly what you want to do.
Okay. But it is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely possible.
Absolutely.
Yes, because I definitely want my stamp. My lovely lunatic life is mine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm happy about that.
I mean, it's amazing because I'm like, I love it. Like I really see it being big, you know. I say that to Gino all the time, and he's like, because I'm very honest with things, you know, and I look and I'm like, it's just, I don't know, I just feel it. It's something there. I feel it. I really do.
And you know what's crazy? I've been hearing that a lot. Not even hearing it, I've been feeling it, and I don't know if I'm exuding it so people feel it too. So I'm just like on another level, because my first season, that was me at home drinking and smoking, butt ass naked on the couch. Like, I feel like talking today.
Right.
Let me just turn on my podcast.
Real organic.
Yeah, and it was like, not this.
Right.
This is what it's supposed to be. This is what's going to get me to the next level.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy that I'm learning. I'm finally growing. I've been through so many changes, you know, and I'm like a new person.
Like your weight, girl.
Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it?
Let me tell you something. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You look amazing. Keep it up.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Can we talk about it? Okay. I was gonna text you like, can we talk?
Yeah, we absolutely can.
Good, because I had my episode 3 was about the gastric sleeve, and so I had some girls talk about it. So I'm happy somebody else is coming to talk about it. You had the sleeve too, right?
I had the sleeve. Yes, I did.
But y'all, let me tell you,
goodness.
my doctor told me no babies for 18 months after the sleeve. Okay.
You just had to go.
I sure did, because I'm still like in shock. Like, wait a minute, but
you listen. You cannot make some of the stuff up that I go through. So I got the gastric sleeve in 2019. A month after I got the gastric sleeve, I got pregnant with my daughter, my first child.
Oh my God.
Talk about a summer body.
Oh my God.
Oh, somebody hating.
Right.
Gino, you hating. I know you hating.
Who put a hex on me? Somebody put a hex on me.
You know, and it was like being pregnant right after. So my pregnancy was high risk because one, I couldn't eat.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I lost 30 pounds just by like maybe the first 6 months. I lost 30 pounds, and then I gained a little weight because I was able to eat a little bit. But it kept me in shape. I will say that, but they say they don't suggest it at all, and I wouldn't either.
Because the nutrients, you're not getting enough nutrients and vitamins to give to the baby.
Every day.
Wow.
Tablets. And luckily I did that because she came out so healthy, and the doctor was like, because you committed yourself. Because I was like, I don't want to, you know, deprive her, and then she comes out with, you know, health issues, as anything, you know. Man, I was popping on vitamins like it was no tomorrow.
Girl, I struggled. I live alone. I got my cat Lola, but I live alone, and so me going through what I went through by myself, I'm like, thank God. I don't know how people do it with kids. Yeah. How you had to get pregnant after that. Like, I couldn't eat straight for like a month. Yeah. Just even drinking water, everything. Too. Yeah. So then you got your hormones. Right. Girl, when you told me that, like, I swear for like 2 weeks, I was just like, yo,
it's all a blur. How? It's a blur, honestly.
Well, thank God, and you doing it all on top of keeping your finances stacked.
Yes.
And just killing it.
Health is wealth.
Yeah, health is wealth.
And we all want wealth, you know. But
yes.
It feels good. It feels good. Like, I think I started off at like 215. No, yeah, like 215 or 220, and I'm 184 now. I gained a little bit of weight back, you know, you're getting little cravings and stuff. But I've been maintaining it because honestly, I didn't want to go anything lower than 180.
Okay.
That I'm comfortable at that weight.
Right.
So, yeah.
180 is my goal too. I started at 282. Right now I've been fluctuating between 210 and 220. But that's what, you know what's crazy? Thank you. I think it's because I'm tall. I think it's my father had the nerve to tell me my head was getting big. I'm like, don't you start.
Why do people always say that? I think it's hate.
It is.
He was like, your head will start looking big now.
They just saying it just to say it. Like, you don't even mean that shit.
Right.
Like, knock it off.
Exactly.
When I was looking at my pictures, like, and I asked my friends, is my hair really
I know you start thinking about like, well, maybe, all right, let me tell you how my hair look like.
Right. Because Because I've seen some people with, but whatever. It's all good. But it's still amazing. You're doing well and you looking good. And so I'm happy that everything's working out for you. And you still young and you're going to just keep going.
That's it.
Like you went from the bottom literally to get to the top and you still got more to go. There's no end goal.
Nope. I'm hungry. I'm telling you, the sky, honestly, there is no limit. People say the sky's the limit, but like I said, like even with your show and what you're doing, like you see yourself there, you're going to be there. You're thinking it into fruition.
Yes.
And that is important. Like people say, oh, the dreamers are, listen, I'm a dreamer. I'm a Pisces. Like, listen, we're very imaginative, but my imagination has gotten me places, but because I also put action behind it.
Yeah,
you know? And
you definitely got to put action.
I see you doing the same thing, and it'll get you there.
Thank you. And then you put action behind it, but you make it look so effortless.
Yeah.
And that means it's your passion. Yeah. Do you think this is your purpose in life, to help people with their finances?
I do. I really do. And I never would have, if you would have asked me this in college, like, I wanted to be a cardiologist.
Wow, really?
I really wanted to be a cardiologist. It was either going to be that or music. Because that's how I met my fiance. I was singing. So it was one or the other. Two totally different sides of the spectrum. And then while I wasn't studying to be no cardiologist, I barely wanted to read the books for the regular classes.
Right.
So, but it was just a dream, because your parents just want to know you're going to, be something great. So I fell right where I was supposed to, you know, and I love what I do.
And that's what I be trying to tell them. Like the divine timing is everything. Sometimes if you get something, you might not receive it as well as you will later on down the line. So we get impatient all the time. Like we want this, we want it now, and I'm guilty for that. I do it all the time. But then now I'm starting to realize, like, no, bitch, you wasn't ready for it. Now you're about to be ready for it. Now I can bless you. And you know what I mean? So as long as you got the hunger, you got the passion, you got the drive, and you got the confidence, because sometimes people will tell you, my father, he used to say, well, if you're not making money on your shows, I'm not going to listen to it. And I've been doing radio for almost 20 years. You know what I mean? So I never really had his full support. It's natural. I feel it and I love it. So it never stopped me from it. You know what I mean? So if it's not necessarily natural to you and someone stops, like says shit and you're like, all right, I can't do it, then it might not be for you. Or the time might not be right. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to keep pushing, you got to keep fighting and keep doing what you got to do. And I'm so happy for you, girl.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you inviting me.
Me too. And I just feel like, can I just be a little cheesy right now?
Of course. I'm always cheesy. You're like, you're so cheesy. I'm like, so what?
No, I really am so happy and honored to meet you. Like, I'm telling you, we've been watching each other for so long on Instagram. And it's not like, you know, when sometimes people see someone on the street that they follow Instagram, they won't say nothing.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
They don't know them.
And I'm not like that.
No, I'm glad to be, like, we fell right into the same spot. She, like I said, she was like a girlfriend I had never met, and I felt like I knew her for so long, and we just vibed automatic, like instantly. Right. You know, it's been like that, and it was organic and genuine, and I love it.
It was. And so again, y'all, get the blueprint.
Yes, please get the blueprint.
You can get it on Amazon.
Yes, Amazon.
I didn't even get mine. Book
Target.
Baby.
Yeah, it's like, I'm telling you, all
Google
major
it.
platforms. Yes.
Nice. All right, so they gonna get that because we told them to. And I definitely will have you back on the show, because once I get my shit together, since you're gonna help me, we can let them know my progress. If that's what we gotta do, maybe we could do like a monthly thing where we let people know like how, like update them on what's going on.
What we've experienced with helping you, what what goals you've achieved, what the next goals are.
Yes.
And you could definitely help somebody who might not know where to start.
Yeah.
You never know who you're touching.
I can't even imagine me like having a conversation to someone next year about credit and finances. Like, bitch, let me tell you what I was like.
Because it's gonna happen.
It has to happen because I'm about to blow up and I need to keep my money right. Okay. Thank you. Now the last final thing. I said I was single, and you know, you and your man know a lot of people.
Yes.
As long as they don't care about my credit, well, they know I'm working on my credit now. So you know,
listen, if you
hook a sister up.
they're gonna be like, oh no, she She good.
I'm trying to be going on dates this summer. Like I got a new body, got a new outfit.
Have a lot of events coming up.
Oh,
you know?
good.
So you gotta come out with us.
I'm down. And they gotta love to travel because I'm a traveler.
Yes.
So next month I'm actually going to Zanzibar for my 40th birthday.
Oh, nice.
Zanzibar, Tanzania, a solo trip.
Awesome.
And I was just like, people wanted to go, but I'm like, I need like a soulful vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll meet people. I always meet people, no problem. But I just needed to.
I have to introduce you to a friend of mine, and this is gonna happen when you start hanging out. She loves to travel. Like literally, she loves to travel. She goes places by herself.
Good.
I mean, she goes to some great places, and I think you two would really hit it off. See,
Yeah.
things will start to fall into place.
Things will fall into
telling you, girl.
place. Yes, everything is aligning.
You gotta meet your husband.
Yes. I mean, I think I have a soulmate, a twin flame.
Okay.
But we're in separation right now, so I'm not waiting on his ass because I'm supposed to be with the right one who loves me back. Okay.
Sometimes you need that space though to show them like, okay, I do love her. Then you need to get it.
When he sees people on me, then I know
that's
he'll
usually
be
what happens.
yeah.
Like, oh, come here.
Cause you and your man got a little story too.
Listen here.
Are you? Can you talk about it?
First of all, yes.
Oh, good. Cause
I am not one of those. I say it how it is, okay? No, but he's a Scorpio. I've known him since I was 19.
Wow.
He is 3 years older than me. 2 years. He was 21. So back then, of course, we were young.
Yeah.
Dumb stuff. So we split up for a while, but he would always say like, I just was always looking for somebody. I would compare girls to you all the time. So we finally got back together in 2013, and you know, I had to whip him into shape. I had to whip him, but I will say this: he is very intelligent. Like you can ask him like, what year did this president get elected? Why is the cement outside like that, like this? And he can explain it. That's one of the things I envy about him. Like he's so smart. But, you know, sometimes people are too smart for their own good.
Right.
So, that being said, we both have strengths, we both have weaknesses. So, my strength was finance. And, you know, because he wasn't one for credit before. He was like, man, if I ain't got the cash, then, you know, that's it. He from the hood. He like, listen, I ain't got time for that. But I'm like, no, because I saw his potential, and I'm like, listen, the way he applies himself and like how much of a fast learner he is, all he has to do is learn this and really see that it works, and it's gonna be it. But yeah, we went through a whole lot of BS, you know, with just him being stupid and not realizing what he had.
Him being a man, right?
I had to whip him into shape.
He had to realize what he had when she was gone.
That's it. And that was all a part of that time when we were homeless and stuff. Like it was just like everything. It was a lot of turmoil. I think it was just like a perfect storm.
Right.
And
he could be a twin flame. Are you into that? Do you know about twin flames?
So I've heard about it, but I'm not really too sure. So you need to educate me right now.
I will go. I will. It sounds like because you went through a lot before y'all finally got it together.
We did, and we're both very bullheaded too. We're very bullheaded. We want what we want. He's just more of an outspoken one. I'm like more on the laid back side, but I still want what I want.
Right.
But I mean, he's my best friend. You
That's
know,
good.
we
That's
created what
beautiful.
works for us, and yeah, we're gonna be old. You know, traveling.
That's beautiful. That's what I'm looking for.
That's it.
So did you help him with his credit and his finances?
I did, yeah. He trusted me every step of the way, and I'm telling you, his credit is excellent now. He has his own, his own car. That's his baby. And I mean, he got his second credit card was an American Express platinum. Those titanium cards. Like you don't just get those. But he listened to everything that I said. He trusted me, and he is like, his credit is excellent.
That's good.
Excellent.
Wow. So you need a girl. You a good woman. You a good woman.
Listen, we gotta build each other up.
Yeah.
Friends, relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you get ahead.
That's how I feel the same way. It takes a village.
Yeah. All that I can do everything by myself. It's like you don't really get far.
Yeah.
Like that,
That's what I was told too. All right, this is the last time I'm talking about the podcast, but that's what I was told too, because I've been doing everything by myself, but it's starting to get overwhelming, and it's like it takes a team to help you get your shit right. So again, guys, I'm looking for an intern who wants to help my Lovely Lunatically Life podcast on Tuesdays from 7 to 9. Yes. You get college credits and all that. So hit me up on my Lovely Lunatically Life on Instagram. I have a website that's going to be up by the end of the month too, so I'll be promoting that.
Awesome.
And just keep looking out for me. I'm keeping my circle with new people and old people. I'm actually trying to move to Texas in November to Houston.
Okay.
So I've been there a couple times this year to just scope out the scene and stuff like that.
How is
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Okay.
The first time I went in March, it was like cold and rainy, but I just went again like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was beautiful. That's when I went to do more nightlife stuff.
Okay.
The first time I was looking at apartments, but yeah, I'm ready.
The vibe is good.
The vibe is good. I'm so over Jersey. I've been here my whole life, you know. And after Houston, hopefully I'll be able to move out the country. But Houston's my next stop.
Sometimes you might have to change where you are.
Yeah. It's so true. That's what I've been hearing. So again, Carressa, thank you so much for coming on my show. This was a very good conversation. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. You
Good.
better invite me back.
Of course.
Again, we got to talk about the progress that we made.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about the progress that's gonna happen soon, coming on, and shit. If we make a show with blind dates that they hook me up with too, we could do that. Let's grow.
Okay.
Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching My Lovely Lunatic Leo Life. You can catch me on Apple, Spotify, Pandora. I'd rather you watch me on YouTube because I edit the videos myself, and it takes time and work and effort. So I appreciate it. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll be back next week. Peace.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Yay!
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
You won't realize, right?
That was cool.
I like to make people feel comfortable, and just that's the good part. Yay! Thank you.
So much for inviting me. That was
Of
awesome.
course.
And we really